How's it going, guys? I'm here for the watch list before I go to sleep, just for you guys, so you guys have stuff to look at. I've just sorted like what I did is I added a few stocks to my perma watch list, so I have a little bit more to look at while I'm not super active. So I can spend like the time that I have at least with just a little bit more material. Um, I've sorted out the stuff that's interesting for me that I want to go that I'm going to go through with you guys. But first, let's look at the market. SPY, bit of like a indecision day yesterday, quite weak now. Under yesterday's low, like this green line is yesterday's low. So I would say like yeah, at least we're probably going to see a bit more consolidation, or maybe this is the beginning of like a bit of a retracement, at least down to the upper Celt. That's what I see. Let's see, is there any news? I don't see much that's of interest. Apple, I mean, apart from the usual bullshit, I don't see much. Um, Qs probably are going to be all similar. Q's actually made a new high but couldn't hold it. Now, of course, they're down as well because everything's correlated. They broke out of this um, ascending triangle here, which like a speed up like this, I would probably see as like a well another sign of um, you know probably some exhaustion coming up at some point. Um, I mean, you can't expect anything else. Like anyone who gets long the market at like at these levels, I don't know. It's if you don't already have a position, I think you're crazy. IWM, Russell couldn't like again. Like I wrote that in chat yesterday. The like tested the 160, couldn't hold. Like a nice reversal candle, but also held the upper count. Looks like we're gonna open up underneath the upper count though. Um, So if we could probably like retest like that 158.50 level, or at least 150, that would probably be a nice level to get short into. I'm already short. I've added a little bit yesterday, um, hoping for a bit of a retracement at least to the middle count or to like this 155 area for now. I think bonds are heading higher overnight. I guess because the market is weak, right? They're always a bit inversely correlated most of the time. Um, so I got long bonds. I think on this gap down here, um, just to kind of uh, get ready for a bit of a reversal in the market in general. But I also like buying new lows as much as I like selling new highs. Which might be a bit of a weakness of mine sometimes, but this one kind of, like, it just makes sense sometimes. A bit of intuition as well. Um, Lastly, gold. Gold, let me bring up the futures because that one is heading up higher. Let's see where it is now. I got long. I did like a similar thing as I did with the bonds. I got long in here on this candle and add a little bit on this candle. Well, if we get like over this, like this high here, I'll probably sell most of it and see if I can trail it to like I don't know, this middle kelp somewhere where it's gonna start looking or start showing a bit of weakness. But that's the bigger picture. Now stocks, individual stocks. Um, Twilio, they have news. Um, some like it looks like some like margin reduction, like some like business related stuff that affected them negatively. I could see like it failed quite hard. from that middle Celt, right? Failed here, recovered a little bit into close, but stayed under VWAP and is now not too weak in pre-market. So I think we would probably want to see some confirmation first. So um, below close uh, a break below like this 93.50 level. There's a bit of a level here, 93.30 as well, like this area. Break below that could be a first signal, and then below a break below this bar's low. So this might not like might be a play today, but might also be a play for the rest of the week. Then Tesla, man, market is weak and this thing's gapping up, and this is like one to like the third gap up in a row. It's right in a resistance area here. So if this wants to go in the morning, I would start shorting this, definitely. Like, but I could totally see this fail right off the open, or like maybe push into the pre-market highs and then fail, something like that. But I'm gonna like depending. I don't know. I'm not gonna be up, and I want to watch it first. So I'm probably not gonna start shorting this just yet. Man, I'm gonna look at the close when I get up, and perhaps put something on if I get confirmation there. But this, I could absolutely see like a retracement. The ATR is 11 at the moment. It's crazy high. Um, so if it wants to freaking move 10 points a day, then you could see it at 340 today. So you never know with this stock. It's just crazy. Um, Twitter, weak with market weakness, gapping below yesterday's low or just at yesterday's low. Rejected like the a few levels here, rejected a level here. Um, So and like made like this nice like lower high. If this can break that support, I think this could see 28 very soon. Um, Facebook. Uh, I called this out yesterday in the watch list. That one went just completely crazy. Really nice. Like if you wanted to get long right away, first entry here, then you could have like on a like low volume indecision candle after it held so long, and then volume comes in. Like that could have been a second entry there for a long. Of course, I was asleep. I didn't trade this. Spotify held the upper celt quite well. Like actually, very nice touch here. Again, probably careful with longs at this point, even though this one looks very nice. Like a nice orderly pullback. Um, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm going to be careful with longs at this point with the market so extended. Shopify, I sold my long today into the close, um, and now this looks, like rejected the middle celt, rejected the 14. Um, I'm not super bearish on it, but I could totally see either if it doesn't have an inside day, which is only sometimes it does have. This could I could probably see this back at 295 again, $15 ATR. So this could totally see 295 today at some point. Microsoft, this again, it's nice, like lower high. It broke. It held the upper celt here. It broke below the upper celt on the hourly. With the weak market and the overextension, I could see this, retrace a little bit as well. But with this one, I don't know. It's been really, really strong. There's lots of relative strength as well. So maybe it's just going to put in an inside day after this move. So like not crazy crazy keen on anything, but perhaps like some kind of retracement in play. TTD, I want to short this, but look at how like this can go quite further and without without really looking at resistance areas. It's done this a few times. When it wants to go, it goes. So this one I would be careful, but it's in play. So probably see where it opens and see what it does like in the first hour. I think if we get like a spike up uh, into this area right away, it could probably fade it back for a few dollars for an intraday trade. But you could also like if this wants to hold over yesterday's high, or over yesterday's close at least, or over VWAP, just any kind of bullish sign, I could totally see this go further as well. It's just this is in play, so yeah, something to look at for short-term plays. Nvidia, this one I like short with the market. Like rejected the upper celt here. Man, my internet is freaking slow again, thanks to the wildfires. Come on. Everything's frozen right now. Okay, here we go. So under the upper celt here, failed the upper celt here, failed or like closed weak here as well, and now it's gapping down. So depending on where we open here, I would definitely think that there's like a bit of a retracement, at least to 204 in the cards. Yeah. Then Apple, I added a bit to my short. Wait, let me look real quick. I think I started a new short actually in Apple. I tried to short it here and got like stopped out flat when we got higher. So I tried again here. Yeah, I started a short here again, which seems to be working better this time, but we'll see. But definitely like short bias for me, at least, like short term. It's not gonna freaking crash, I think, but 255, I think, is in the cards. Tomorrow or I mean today, Wednesday or Thursday, or perhaps by the end of the week. So it could like again, as I've showed you before, let me show you again what you could do in Apple is say see let's do it here. See like a very small short that I have on here. So you could do like the same thing right here. So what you want to see with call spreads, with short call spreads is like like you want like at least a third of the width of the spread. So with 250, that's about 83 cents that you would want to collect for a short. And as long as the stock stays under 265.95, you would be either break even or in profit, right? And even if the stock doesn't move, if it stays just here, this is slowly going to start making money as well because of the decay in theta and because you've collected more money than you paid. So that's kind of the mechanics of short call spreads. What you could also do is do a put spread. That with put spreads, the only thing is it has to move because right now, like, or even if you say you want to collect like 50%, right? You can't even collect 50%. Like if you want like, so this is like a 2-to-1, right? The stock has to go all the way to 257 for this to work out. So it's a lower probability, but of course like higher reward. So that's kind of the mechanics of those two spreads that I've showed you guys before. Um, and of course, because you are buying premium here, it's a debit. Time is working against you, so if it doesn't move, um, this spread is slowly going to lose value, and that is if you're a long spread. When you pay debit, you're long the spread, even though you're short the stock. Um, that's working against you. That's the mechanics in this. Yeah, Apple, I think is probably one of my favorites at the moment. At least, like it might as well just do this again, like consolidate for 3 days and then head higher. But it's just, here it's done stuff like that as well. It's doing this. Sometimes, it's just grind higher like it did here, but we'll see. I think we are a bit of at an exhaustion point here. So yeah, I would probably be short bias on this. MU, um, really nice. I mean, this candle could only be better if it was red. But I love how it tried to get above and rejected that middle count. So probably like 46 target, 45.80 around that area, um, and see how far further it wants to go. Like this has an ATR of 1.4, so it could, like 1.4 is all the way to 45, almost. So from if it opens here underneath this support, 45 could totally be in the cards if the market plays ball. Um, Baba, it's holding. It's holding above, even though it's gapping down today. It's actually gapping underneath the celt, so that's like a bad sign. It needs to close above the celt again, otherwise, maybe we're gonna. This was another just failed breakout, and we're gonna see a retracement to 180. We'll see. Um, but I like that this is holding. So far, I've liked that this was holding, right? It held it failed at this resistance here, so that weakness might like destroy the long thesis on this. But I just like that pattern. I wanted to point it out to you guys how it tried the lower to break and reclaimed that celt. Um, Team that's I think Atlassian, yeah. So came over and failed at this resistance here, failed at the 30. Um, so we'll see now. It's like a decision point here, depending on where this opens. If it opens below the middle celt or below the 14, which is probably a bit optimistic, this could, like have another drop in the box. I think this is quite a important area of resistance here. Also with the 200 MA close. So with a weak market, I could see this as a potential short as well. And then lastly, MasterCard tested this area again. This resistance area here failed, closed red, closed underneath the point of control. Tested the middle count on the hourly, so perhaps like if you get a bounce into like the 278 area, that might be maybe 278.30. That might be a nice opportunity to get puts or get like a put spread or a short call spread, as I just showed you guys earlier. Um, to perhaps like take advantage of it right being at resistance. So as I said with call spreads, if it's right at resistance and it just consolidates here, um, it doesn't have to move in the direction that the spreads bias is. Even if it's just staying still, time decay will help with the short spreads, with credit spreads, so short call spreads or short put spreads. They are great vehicles if you want to, like if you want to put it above a level of resistance or below a level of support. So that might be something that I think the options are not too liquid in MA if I'm correct. So that might be something to consider. 20 cent, 15 cent spread. It's not too bad, but also not too good. Uh, liquidity, 3 stock. Okay, yeah, no, that's okay. That should be all right. Um, uh, all right, open it. Have a look at. Yeah, it's not exciting, but it's also not too bad. So you could definitely trade like a spread in here. Say, let's see, that's a $2.50 spread. We want about 86 cents, something like that. What you could do, you could just lay this out, like for say 90 cents. Lay this out. If it spikes in the morning, this might get filled, um, and you have like an even better entry. Or you can just, like, what was it earlier? 286, 83. So that's actually perfect. If we like, you could just lay that out like this. You know what? I might actually do this. Um, just put a few on and hope for a bit of a spike in the morning volatility to fill the spread, and then you could right at least if the market helps, this market follows this stock follows the market quite well. So you could just like hope for the market to retrace a little bit as well. So that's my thoughts. That's my list. Yeah, if you guys have questions, hit me up. If you want me to look at any kind of stock tomorrow, let me know. I'll try to be around for the close. Um, I've actually been quite enjoying getting a bit of sleep because I'm working crazy hours at the moment. So it's nice to get like a little bit of sleep and perhaps even be able, to watch a TV show, which I haven't done in months. So yeah, guys, any questions, let me know. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. We are really trying to, get the attention of the YouTube algorithm. So perhaps a few more people are going to be able to join our group and make it a better place for everyone to learn. So yeah, guys, thanks and good luck today.